and what I found is incorrect. Again, yeah, maybe you explain.
So to devote is to give over or to dedicate
So
something. So
why cannot use found?
it's used partly it's because of the two. So it if something is found to, it has to be found to do something else or found to be something else. But if it's
Devoted to is, yeah,
devoted
okay, yeah.
to or dedicated to, it means it's given over to doing that. This is what its focus will be. So
Great.
if a book is devoted to defining a mathematical problem, then that's what it will be focused on.
Yeah,
It's
and
dedicated to doing that.
yeah.
Mm, it's it's you're kind of imagining separating out the different parts. So to tease out is you're imagining that something is kind of pushed all together, some complexity has been pushed together, and you're pulling out each of the parts
Yeah.
to so we use it, it's like a metaphor.
Yeah.
You're kind of imagining that someone is carefully rearranging
So it means
something.
rearranging something carefully. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a way of metaphorically referring to analysis. Because analysis is where you pick something apart so that you can see its different parts and how they relate to each other. So they're analyzing the basis of this concept, but also they're analyzing why it appeals to or appealed um, to managers.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it depends on. So practical autonomy depends on the development of a strong
yeah. And have you heard
yeah.
the word parallels are done with? What does that mean? Parallels are done with. Are drawn with, I'm sorry.
So to draw parallels with something is to make a comparison. To draw parallels, you're saying that this is in parallel with this. That is, this is similar to this in some way. I can compare one thing with another. Parallels are drawn with. It's a it's one of these metaphorical usages. So you're actually imagining someone is drawing parallel lines
Parallel lines, yeah.
as a way of making a kind of a metaphorical representation of comparison. So if I draw parallels with something, I'm comparing it with something. Or I could say drawing parallels between. This is, yeah, this whole example is full of a lot of these kind of dead metaphors
Yeah.
that are they're almost idiomatic. It's really hard to explain. It's just that these phrases in usage, drawing parallels,
Yeah. Opportunities. Constraint opportunities. Yeah.
constrain us to hold, but it's also to kind of throttle or like that idea of contracting or holding something back actually is probably the best. So to say that those conditions that they constrain opportunities is that they stop or hold back those opportunities. They might not stop them completely, but they limit them seriously.
Yeah. So
So the paper is critiquing someone else's idea. Someone has this idea that that autonomy is possible. It can be realized. It's possible, or it can be made real. In these particular kinds of conditions, because these conditions, the so-called monocultural conditions, they actually prevent prevent opportunities to, when they say to wrestle with competing values, they're saying opportunities to kind of debate perspectives there. It's a really unclear sentence because it relies on a lot of a lot of metaphors, and a lot of prior knowledge of, I guess, business and management jargon
Yeah.
from George Orwell's 1984.
Double think. Okay.
Yeah, so
Double
that's
think,
it's a literary allusion. In that book, doublethink means the correct way to think in terms of the party line.
What is party line?
So the idea that even if you're looking at a situation and you think it's wrong or contradictory in some way, that you have to do what the party says. That is what the political party says. So
This
it relies.
person,
Yeah, that's George Orwell. That's right.
yeah. Yeah. I understand this one, but I did not understand his.
Yeah. So
words.
holding those slogans there, contradictory ideas at once, and supposed to. I know that that's not possible. I know that's not true, but I'm just supposed to agree.